Awesome. Couldn't figure out why they attacked the dog. What? You know, I don't understand. They're Washington, Mr. Washington. Martin is way too old for me. Way too old. I am a young Denzel Washington.
Hey, James.
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Yep. My husband.
I noticed that. Yeah.
So the next step is. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's agreed.
Wow, we got a small turnout today.
It's a member of your school, which I New Zealand.
Yeah. What would you do then? You want something?
Oh,
I'll take it from my mouth.
Okay. Why? I'll go my fast, my military pastor does all that. Oh, you American.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, all of those online. Hello. We are going to get started with our meeting today. Today is August 1st. Can you believe it? Time is flying by. But we're having a good meeting today. We're going to start with our invocation by Fred B. And then we'll do our pledge and go from there.
Would you bow with me, please? Gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. We're so grateful for all the blessings that you have bestowed on us individually and as a club. We ask you will give us wisdom throughout the year and be with Tamara as she inspires us to serve those that are less fortunate. We ask these things in your precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's continue standing for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So Catherine's not here today. She had another appointment. Right now, we're kind of a small crowd today, right?
I keep thinking
So-
people are going to come in. They're late.
They're late. They're coming in.
The heat has slowed them down.
Quality instead of quantity.
All right, politics instead of quantity. All right, I love that. I love that. So we have one guest today who is our speaker, so we won't go into great detail, but her name is Miss Tanisha Blair. Thank you, Tanisha, for coming today. And so we'll go into her bio and all of that later. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and move into our brags with Steve. Any classification talk?
Welcome, everybody, to the first day of August. I'll brag, it's my daughter's birthday today, so yeah, wish her a happy birthday. Anybody in a bragging mood? Go ahead.
I brag. My nephew, who will be turning 3 this September, he is going to be starting pre-K 3 next week. So very excited.
Wow. 3K.
Yeah,
It gets started pretty early, doesn't it? 3? Wow.
anybody over here want to brag? Okay,
I am bragging, last week, Plano Independent School District had its back to school event put on by Sharon Bradley and yours truly, and we were projecting hopefully to get about 3,000 people. And we ended up with about 5,500. A lot of need out there, but it went really, really well. So just bragging about PISD back to school and helping families out. Thank you, thank you.
thank you, James. Anybody else? Brett?
Speaking of school, and I want to give credit where credit is due. James, we appreciate all you do for those kiddos and for PISD and all the other teachers. That's a tough job nowadays. I've been in that system before and kids have changed so much now, but God bless you and have a great school year.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Thornton?
I want to brag on, we had our July Adopt a Highway last Saturday, which means the one that's really, really, really hot that day. It didn't rain. January's one where we're bundled up, and July's one where we're like trying to hurry and get done. But I really want, it was actually kind of almost unique because it was only Rotarians. Normally, especially during the school year, you get all the college, high school kids and everything out. But I want to thank Peter Luciano, who's there with his new badge, Emmanuel, Michelle, and Glenn for coming out, and we knocked it out pretty quickly. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Glenn. So online, is there anybody wanting to brag online today? So go right ahead. Go ahead.
Kelly?
So we in Parks and Rec, it was Parks and Rec month last month, and always try to do something a little different each year. And I don't understand why Parks and Rec month is in July. Like, I get it, it's the summertime, but it's always so hot, so it's hard to encourage people to get outdoors. So I decided this year to do an art contest, and we've been wanting to do something like that for a long time. And usually when you do, the first go round, it's, it can go one way or the other. And this go round, like for the first time doing this, we got, oh my gosh, we had, let's see, 13 adult submissions. And so we got about 30 submissions from people, which is a lot for us. But it wasn't just the artwork that that we were so happy to see. It was the descriptions that these residents included in their artwork, explaining how they see how community grows through Parks and Recreation, and some of their just such heartfelt messages, and it really just made my heart swell to be able to read all of these from kids. I mean, just the thoughtfulness of these kids, and oh, that generation is gonna be all right, because they get it. And so I'm hoping to have all of the artwork. I'm working to create a mobile exhibit and have all of their artwork on display at our rec centers through the fall. So you guys will be seeing some of that artwork here soon, and I can't wait for you to see it.
Cool.
Thank you very much. Would anybody else like to brag? Lisa?
Yeah, I'll brag. I was really hoping to be there today. My brother, my son and I, Nathan, some of you guys know, we are leaving on Sunday for Australia and Bali. And it's our big adventure together, mother-son trip. And we'll be gone 5 weeks.
Oh my God.
Wow,
Yeah.
that'll be fun.
Can I go?
Sure. Meet me in Bali. You know Kayla from Ryla?
Yeah.
Kayla just got back from Bali. I just saw she led a group there.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't seen her. Is she part of our club still? Kayla is? She is?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thanks, Lisa.
Mhm.
Our illustrious past president has a brag. Or no, I'm sorry, Molly, excuse me.
I apologize for being late, but this last week, an organization I'm involved in gave a really tremendous donation to Bed Start here in Plano. And Doug was talking about all of the work that they do. And this man's name came up more than once about his participation in helping the homeless in the school district.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just want to brag because my husband's family has made it a point to come together once a month now. And on Sunday was his sister's birthday, and we all got together and went to a restaurant called Lolo's Chicken and Waffles in Grapevine, and it was so good. But I just want to brag on my other side of the family that they're taking steps to all come together, and excited about that.
Okay, I guess I'll wrap up brags. I'll be leaving Friday for British Columbia to do my annual fishing trip for Pacific salmon and halibut. And best salmon in the world comes from there. Not necessarily the biggest, but the best. And there's eagles and orca whales and humpback whales, you name it, that's out there swimming around us. And it's really cool. Pristine, most pristine place I've ever been to. I'll be fishing 3 days.
Listening to you guys, my life is so boring.
Yeah.
My life is so boring. I'm gonna have to do something to make it more interesting for sure. So just to handle a little bit of club business, hold on. Okay, we're trying to put a little light up here so we can see better on the screen. Handle a little bit of club business. It's okay, okay. I'm gonna let him handle that. So the first thing I want to do is birthdays. Last month, we decided we would do recognize birthdays at the last meeting, but last week we had our in-meeting service project, which we were busy. It was so much fun and so good, and we've got the rest of our blankets, and the young ladies should be here by the end of the meeting with all the other blankets so that we can take them over to children's. So we didn't get to acknowledge our birthdays and our Rotarian of the month. And then I thought, you know, we should recognize them at the first meeting for the whole month. So I'm going to be recognizing birthdays for January, anniversaries, birthdays for January, my goodness, July and August. Today's August 1st. All right. So we have Janelle Berry Cook joined Rotary August 31st. Michael Cook joined, his birthday is August 28th. David Evans joined July 28th. Molly Hancock, I'm sorry, I need to quit reading so fast. July 6th is when she joined. Joy Hinkleman joined July 7th. Roxana Iannarelli is the best I can know to say it. Her birthday is July 12th. Laura Johnson joined July 7th. Zane Carlson joined July 7th. Luciano Piriani joined last month, July 18th. Patrick Pope joined August 3rd. Tom Posey has a birthday August 22nd. Richard Rantala, who's an honorary member, has a birthday July 9th, and he joined on July 4th. Joanna Snowden has a birthday on August 21st. Fred Thomas joined July 28th. James Thomas joined August 11th. Tamara Thomas joined July 28th. And Michael Walker has a birthday on July the 26th.
Wow.
Got through that. Birthdays and anniversaries of the month. Happy birthday, happy anniversary. It's a time to celebrate. One thing that I wanted to do this year was to recognize a Rotarian of the month. And so this month, we're going to recognize someone who is one of our newest members, honorary member actually, but is so active in all of our service projects, as well as is running our newsletters while Jen is out, and just doing an awesome job, very faithful to coming to the meetings. And he's just been an encouragement and really been an example of what a Rotarian truly is. And so I want to give this pin that says Rotary Rotarian of the Month to Emmanuel Smart. And this is for the month of July. Congratulations. Thank you for all your service. All righty. And we're looking for other service projects. So if you haven't been on the website, you'll see that there's nothing there. And some things I believe were submitted to Tara that may just not be there yet. But let's get busy with our service projects. I know it's hot, so we can even look for indoor stuff to do. But over the next month, let's try to get it filled again. And then August, the in-meeting service project for August is going to be on the 22nd. And I won't bore you with the details today because we got a couple of weeks to go. So those are our announcements. Oh, I'm sorry. I have one more thing. At the beginning, when I was installed as president, I gave out pins to those that are in office. And one that was not here, that's here today, is the founding member and board member, Tom Posey. And so I want to give this to him. All right. And so with that being said, that gives us Mr. Steve.
Just one piece of information. This is,
Here, I got it.
Okay.
this is Hug Your Air Conditioner Month.
Hug your what?
Air conditioner.
That is no joke. I've been hugging mine too, staying right up under, cuddling with my air conditioner.
Love is working hard.
Oh my goodness, when is it gonna end? I just saw in the news that we're going 3 digits all through next week. It's just
September maybe.
yeah. Oh, September. Oh my goodness. Well, you guys stay cool. Stay cool and hydrated.
I was born on September 25th, 1953. Yeah, my mom every year for my birthday reminded me that it was 100 degrees today. I was born.
Wow.
Yeah,
Give him the mic.
they didn't have any air conditioning in the house.
Wow. So for those online, if you didn't hear, he was born on September 25th, Steve Lawton. It was 100 degrees and there was no air conditioning in the house. So that's probably why he owns an air conditioning company, right?
But there was AC in the hospital.
AC was in the hospital. All right, all right. So I'm gonna call Ero, our president-elect, up to come and give the introduction for our awesome speaker today. We had a change in speakers, and thank God she was able to come and bless us with her talents today. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I forgot the rest of the club business. Okay, Rotary means business at 12 Cut Steakhouse. That's going to be August the 8th. And I believe, I can't see it on there. I believe it's 5 to 7:30.
Yes.
Okay, and then District Roundtable. Let's all try to go to this event August 12th, Scottish Rite Hospital in Frisco. And that's from 10 to 12. I think they start like networking or fellowshipping around 9:30. So if you haven't been, I heard that it's a really good place, a really nice place. So let's all try to support that as well. Rotary District 5810 Awards Banquet is August the 26th. I don't know how many people got to submit something for our club, but we may or may not be awarded. So let's try to go support. I think the tickets are $40 and includes dinner and all that. You should have all this in your emails. And then our district governor, John Curtis, will be here September the 12th. There was some changes in schedule, but ours remains the same. And we will be doing another in-meeting service project on that day because it's at his request. And it just so happens to be, we're an awesome club and doing it anyway. All right, Ero.
So this is the bio. So throughout her life, helping others excel to become better versions of themselves has always been a passion. She chose a career in financial services because she continually comes across people in the community who need specialized help excelling their finances. She saw how her mother's needs as a business owner was very difficult from her brother's financial need as he journeyed through his military career. At Edward Jones, they offer investment services and tools their clients need to work towards their unique, successful financial future. Whether a part of a military community, a businesswoman, or concerned about just their family legacy, they strive to make sure clients feel heard and that they understand their story. She received her undergraduate degree from the University of North Texas. Is that like Go Eagles? Okay, yes, okay. In Denton, Texas, and she currently is pursuing a master's degree at Texas Women's University. She holds a CFP designation as well as life accident and health insurance agent license, FINRA 7, 65, and 63 and 65 registrations. So this is Tanisha Blair. And there you go. And if you just stand right here.
So everyone can see. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And you made me realize I need to update some things. I finished my master's, so woohoo. Thank you so much for having me here today. I really, truly appreciate it. The opportunity, I always love the opportunity to go out and provide financial education. That's what I'm passionate about. If you saw my name, there's a lot of letters behind it because I believe that we perish for lack of knowledge. So the more knowledge we have, the stronger we'll be and the more we can do. So I was told to tell what my different designations stand for. So certified financial planner. So not all financial advisors are financial planners. So it was important to get that designation for me because it really allows me to give clients holistic planning. It's not just about what stocks and bonds you're picking, but what's the plan, where you're trying to go, and what are the pitfalls and things that would try to get in your way. I'm a certified exit planning advisor, which means I help business owners build value in their business to make sure whenever they're ready to retire or leave that business, it has value. CRPC, certified retirement planning advisor, and AAMS is just means I do a really good job at building portfolios, asset management. So that's a little bit about what my designations mean. Today, I'm here to talk to you about retirement by design. So not just talking about retirement, but what's the plan? What's the design? What do you want for your retirement? Do you know that you have the power to design what you want? Sometimes people are like, I have a 401k. My job pretty much designed my retirement by telling me how much to contribute, and I just do it. But you have the power to make sure that your retirement, you work so hard when you're ready to stop working, whether you desire to or life tells you it's time to stop, you should be able to design what your retirement looks like.
So I'm gonna need to be the one going through it, unfortunately.
Okay, no problem.
Just kind of wink at me or something.
Yeah, next step.
I'll
Next
wink back.
Thank you. So just to tell you a little bit, I won't get into this a little too much. As I mentioned, I'm an advisor with Edward Jones. And so we have a process to help with planning for our clients. We look at where you are now, where you're trying to go, and we help make sure you're able to get there based on your goals and needs. Next one, thanks. So when you look at this, when you think of your retirement, what words jump out to you about how you feel about your retirement? One or two people, let me know what you think.
Scared.
Scared.
Joyous.
Joyous. Ah. All right. Huh? Uncertain. Skeptical. All right. There are some people, I wonder, sometimes I wonder what's the difference between someone who's joyous about retirement and someone who's concerned and skeptical. And a lot of times it's the plan. It's what you have designed. And not only that you have a plan, but you have the things you need to execute to get that plan. Next one. So today we're going to go over what you should be considering when you're designing your retirement. Where you are now matters. What you have now matters. The best time to start preparing for retirement was when you got your very first job. The second best time is today. As in the past, we can't go back to, but don't delay. What are you doing now? What's your current situation? And what do you want to see in the future? You define your goals, you work through your goals, and then you have to consider what are those things that are challenges that if you don't take account for now could impact your goals in retirement, such as taxes and unexpected expenses and different things like that. And then we work on staying on track. So when you look at your current situation for retirement, I won't ask for people to tell where they are or raise your hand, but if you have anything that you have sat down and said, where do I want to be? So your current situation is, if you're not retired, you're working. That's your current situation. What can you do with that situation right now? What can you do at your current state to maximize what you want retirement to look at? It's also important to look at how you're living right now and see what's going to be different in retirement. And so with a lot of clients, there's a lot of part of what I do with planning. A lot of times people come in and they say, oh, I have this money I want to invest it for me. And then I say, okay, let's look at your budget. And they're like, we don't need to look at my budget. And I'm like, yes, I do need to look at your budget because I need to understand your budget to know how I can invest these assets. Because if I invest your assets and your budget's out of whack and you're going to need to borrow money from these assets, now we've just impacted your plan way more than the investments that I chose. So understanding where you are right now. If you go to a personal trainer, I like to relate what I do to a personal trainer. If you go to a personal trainer and you're like, I want a workout plan, what are they going to always ask you about? Your diet, right? Your diet. Yeah, they want to know your goals. What is the goal? And they want to know what your diet is. Because they're like, yes, I can put you in the gym. I can put you on the best machines. I can give you the best workout plan. But if your diet is not in line, it is going to impact your results. I had a trainer tell me he had someone he was putting them in, they were working out and he just wasn't seeing the results. And he found out, oh, and he was like, what's your diet like? And they've been telling him, oh, I'm eating great. I eat salads. So he's like, what's going on? And he found out they spent all weekend drinking. And alcohol is the first thing you burn when you get to the gym. So he's like, your workouts are not doing anything because all you're doing is burning the alcohol because they were focused on one thing. So it's important to understand your current entire situation to know what we need to design for the future. You go on to the next one for me. And bear with me, I'm doing what would be an hour presentation in less. So next for me. So defining your goals. So defining your goals. What do you think defining a goal of retirement looks like? Will someone tell me?
Like what? This is gonna be about how your lifestyle changing. So, how do you live in retirement?
Yeah. How do you want to live in retirement? Are you, go ahead. See, and notice what my retirement says, retirement by design. So the first thing I ask people is, what date do you want to now choose to work and not have to work? You determine what your retirement date is. No one else picks that for you. But some people, they'll say, well, Social Security, I can start taking it at 66, so I'm going to retire at 66. You can retire before you take Social Security. You can retire and not take your Social Security. You can take it later. That doesn't have to drive when you retire. But what does drive when you retire is your plan. What have you put away? What are you doing to retire? It's not a magical age where it's like at 67, I no longer have to work anymore. That doesn't necessarily have to be the case. I have 2 people in my life that I use as like guiding lights when I'm working with clients that drive my passion. So one person was, I was the youth pastor at my church. So I used to order pizza for the teens, and the pizza delivery person was in his 80s and had to bring in about 20 boxes of pizza. And he would struggle each time and the kids would be helping him. And I can tell he was not working that job because he wanted to. It wasn't because he was passionate about delivering pizza and this is what he wanted to do every day. On the other hand, my father, the day he passed away, he was 82 years old and he worked that day. He loved work. He retired 3 times before that by age 60, but you asked him what his favorite hobby was, he said work. He loved working and he was like, I will work until the day I die. And that's what he did, but that was by choice. And that's 2 different people. You want to say, what is your goal? What do you define for yourself? Nowadays, some people are choosing to retire early. If they want to retire in their 40s, 50s, that's doable. But what your retirement design looks like might be very different for someone who wants to retire in their 60s or 70s. And then even if you're in retirement, it's not too late to define what your retirement looks like. It's never too late to start. If you don't have the definition of what that looks like for you, then now is the time. But make your goals simple. We know about simple goals, right? We want our goals to be SMART goals. They need to be simple. They need to have a measurement to it. If you want to retire at a certain age, you need to know what's your number. That's what I always ask. What's your retirement number? How much do you need to be able to maintain the life you want to live in retirement? So if you have your budget now, that's a good place to start, because you have systems that can tell you if you spend $5,000 a month now and you want to retire in 10 years to maintain the same level of lifestyle, then you need to be having $6,000 a month. The calculations will figure that out, but that's a good starting place. If you know you love to travel and the only thing that keeps you from traveling is your job and you're going to want to travel more in retirement, you can plug that in. It's whatever you like. I had a client who they were like, no, I don't want to travel. I don't want to do it. I just want to sit at home. That's, to me, the ideal retirement is sitting at my house. And you know what her son said? Well, let's make your house the best place to be. Let's buy you the nicest television. Let's make your house let's use your money to plan the retirement you want. Let's design your retirement. So next slide for me. When you look at your expenses now, you want to prepare, look at what your expenses are now, but also prepare for the expenses you'll have in retirement, right? Healthcare is the #1 cost that retirees face. That's a completely different flip from what they had in their life prior. So if you're not planning for retirement, health expenses, that can be a big pitfall in your retirement. What are things you can do now to plan for expenses in retirement for healthcare? Does someone know the #1 tool you have at most employers? And even if you don't have employers, you can look at starting if you are a business owner for your company. Do you know what that is? Medicare is a plan you will have, but what can you do now? Marketplace, well, your health savings account. How many people have a company that has a health savings account? Do you know the money you put in there now, you can max it out each year and you don't have to use it. So there's a good way to use your health savings plan, which is max it out. And when you have medical expenses, pay it now. Do you know what the benefit of a health savings plan is? Did anyone know? Right, so it's tax-free. You get to pay for your medical expenses tax-free, right? And so if you have a medical expense today, you can use it. But the better way is not use it at all. Save it, let it grow for when you're in retirement, because that's money that's compounding and growing, that when you're in retirement, not only can you use it for medical expenses, but you're able to start taking out from the account without any penalties. It's like an additional IRA type account that you build for yourself. But those are some things you can start doing now to prepare for retirement. Another thing people don't think about, how you take care of your health now is going to impact your health in retirement. So when you're building your financial plan, we might need to put a business expense in there, or a budget item for a personal trainer, or for a nutritionist, or for regular medical checkups. All those things are going to impact what's happening for you in retirement. Cars, all those things, you want to make sure you have it in your plan. You don't have to guesswork. You can actually sit out and design. When I'm in retirement, I want to drive a Corvette. Or when I'm in retirement, I want to drive this one car I have until the wheels fall off. You can plan for that now. Oh, another thing that in retirement that we say, people tend to have 3 phases when they get into retirement. Your first phase is your go-go. Everywhere you want to go. I want to go here. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go here. And then you start slowing down and go to your slow go phase where, okay, I want to go see the grandkids. I want to go travel for the holidays, but I'm not trying to go everywhere. I've seen what I want to see. And then you have the no-go years where you're like, I'm not going anywhere. The grandkids want to see me. They're going to go fly here to come see grandma. So those are things you want to prepare for. Next slide for me, please. All right. So there are different ways you can actually save for retirement to maximize how you invest. So how many people know the difference between a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA? Okay, so I just wanted to know, kind of gauge the room so I don't feel like I'm losing you all talking about something that's not important to you. So an IRA account, well, how many people know what a 401k is and the benefits? Okay, so a 401k is usually through your employer. If you have military service or you are for the government, you might have a TSA, which is the same thing as a 401k. If you work in the school system, you might have a 403b. So those are all government retirement plans that you put money in there and the money grows with tax benefits to you. An IRA is the same thing, but now you start it instead of your employers. So it's an individual retirement account. Can I have an IRA with my spouse? No, because it's an individual retirement account. So it's just your account and they become the beneficiary of the account. And so traditional and Roth. So IRA is the category, and then you can have traditional or Roth. 401k can also have traditional or Roth. So let's talk about the difference between a traditional and a Roth. Am I missing something? Oh, sorry. That's okay. I just want to make sure I'm good. Okay. So a traditional IRA, think of a traditional type of retirement. When you put money in the account, you don't pay taxes on it now. You pay taxes later when you take it out in retirement. So example, You make $1,000 this week. You work, you make $1,000. You say, I want to put $100 in a traditional account, whether that's traditional IRA, traditional 401k. When you get that $1,000, the IRS says you only made $900. And that $100 is in a different account. And to the government, you have not earned that money yet. Now, let's say that $100 over time grows to $300. Now you have a total of $300 in that traditional account. And now you're in retirement, usually 59 and a half or later. There are some reasons you can take out before that, but generally speaking, 59 and a half, you have $300 in the account now. You say, I'm going to start using that money. You take that $300 out. The government says you have now earned that money. You pay that taxes at that time. Why do you think you would do something like that? Right. So you would do a traditional IRA if you believe you're going to be in a lower tax bracket, because paying taxes on $300 is less than paying taxes on $1,000 based on tax brackets. Now, on the other side is the Roth IRA or the Roth 401k. Now, this time you made the same $1,000, but you're going to take $100 and put it in a Roth IRA. When you get your check, the government said you pay taxes on $1,000. So you get taxed on your entire 1,000, even though you put 100 in that Roth IRA. Now it's the future. It's grown to $300. Now you want to take that $300 out. Guess what you're taxed on? Nothing. So now you have that $200 worth of growth tax free. Why would you want to be in a plan like that?
Free money.
Free. If you think you're going to be in a higher tax bracket in retirement, then you want to make sure that you have some tax-free buckets to offset your taxes. So when you have enough funds to really start maximizing different types of accounts, it's beneficial to have different buckets so you can manage your taxes. One of the things we'll talk about in retirement. Okay. You can also save in non 401k or IRA accounts. The difference between having it in an IRA and a 401k versus investments or savings is just the tax benefits. That is the difference. You can have the same exact investments in a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA that you have in an investment account. It's just the tax treatment that makes the difference. So I like to say it's a tax umbrella over your investments. And the government looks at what's under the umbrella based on what type of umbrella. If you have a clear umbrella or you have a dark umbrella, I'm gonna call my Roth the dark umbrella. You can't see what's happening here because it's none of your business, IRS. I already paid you. Yes.
Just want to mention on the 401k, boy, the employers also matching your contributions or even putting in more in your contributions.
Yeah. So sometimes employers do match your contributions. And I say, if you have a 401k and your employer matches, max out what they match at the very minimum. Some people say, but I can't afford to do that. Then you have to, because if you can't afford to do it, you need the free money even more. So max it out, because there's ways you can pull it out early if you need to. But that's free money. Nowhere else is going to guarantee you 100% return. But you want to make sure you understand your employer's match system. And so you're doing it properly as well. I saw another question.
Can you share the difference between the 401k and a 403b?
It's who you work for. That's really the main difference, is who you work for, but also 403bs sometimes. So 401ks and 403bs, separate from investment accounts and individual IRAs, they have, based on the employer or the company plan, dictates what you can be invested in. And typically 403bs are going to be more conservative, your investment options, 403bs and TSAs, because you're working for the government, you're working for public health care, they are going to be a lot more conservative with what your investment options are.
Not only that, they're not matched. Steve mentioned match.
Right.
Yeah, they're not. I'm interested in match.
Yeah.
But you know, this is not matching anything.
And some 401ks don't match.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah. But some 401ks also don't match as well. So that's another thing to know. And then you have choices and options with what happens when you move employers. What can you do with your funds? That's when you can take money from a 401k and put it in an IRA. IRAs have limits. 401ks have limits. 401ks have higher limits than IRAs. And then you have employer. If you're self-employed, there are other IRA options as well. This is kind of more generally speaking. And then pension and Social Security, you'll see that in yellow because those are your fixed sources. Those are your I never run out of money buckets. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you? They say, I get disability. Can you get disability?
Depending on what you have and the reasons why and what your work history has been outside of that. So those are the things where you want to sit down, usually with Social Security, and if you have an advisor, because Social Security, they have information, but they don't have strategy. So you pair your Social Security representative with a financial representative because then you can build strategy. Social Security has the information for you that's needed. Well, I'm just looking at it as if we get through questions, I'm great with that. And then when time is over, then we just stop where we're at, if that's best, because I want to make sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm free and we can do a round table and sit and chat and I'll be happy with that. All right.
One other aspect of 401ks, you can play catch up.
Yes, you can.
So
And so
there's
does.
a cap as to how much you can put in,
Mhm.
but if you're of a certain age, you can play catch up.
That is
We
correct.
said count up.
As well as with the IRAs, when you are over age 50, you can contribute more as well. The other thing to keep in mind when you're talking about all of these are different topics that we could talk about just that one section for like 30 minutes on its own. But the other thing on your 401k is that when you are getting a 401k that's matched, you want to know what your company's vesting schedule is. A vesting schedule is how much time you have to work at the company to own the money that they're giving you. So if you work there for a year and you're like, I have a 3% match, but they have a 6-year vesting schedule, you're not going to get that match if you leave in year 1. Okay. Next slide for me.
It's an incentive for you to stick with the company.
Yeah.
It is. And that's what is incentivizing companies to give this as a benefit.
Sure.
So I work with business owners and I talk to them about starting retirement accounts for their employees because it is going to help them with employee retention, right? If you have a job that offers a 401k versus one that doesn't, you're going to more likely, it's stickier to have that 401k job because they give you benefits. The rule of 25. So pretty much this is a simple way, like if you sat with me or an advisor should plan for you and let you know what your specific dollar amount is that you need for retirement. But let's say we sit and we say, okay, $40,000 a year is what I need to live in retirement. And the average, based on an average retirement age of about 65, you need about 25 years to make it age 90. You need $1 million saved for retirement. That is kind of how, just a rule of 25. If you want to do some quick math, how do I get to the number I need in retirement? Now, remind you on that last slide, we saw pension, we saw Social Security. Those are things we can take out of that amount, right? So if you know you're going to have a Social Security benefit of 3,000 or 10,000 of this, now you only need 30. If you know you're going to have a pension that's going to cover another 10, now you only need 20. Now we just need to multiply 20 by 25. You only need 500,000. I have clients who have $200,000 with me and have plenty of money for retirement and won't even need it. And that's going to be a legacy for their children. I have clients who have over $1 million for me and it is not going to be enough to maintain the lifestyle they want in retirement based on how they're living. So the best thing to do is sit down and actually write out your specific plan. I have clients who, if someone says, what's the best age to take Social Security? Is it better to let it grow or is it better to take it early? It depends. I have a client, he's like, if I make it to age 75, I am thanking God that I made it that far. We're not going to delay retirement for him or social security benefits. We're going to take it early because in his mind, he has a shorter life expectancy. I have another client who says, I'm still waiting on my 99-year-old parent to pass away. So we need to plan for age 100. We might postpone social security, or if you have a married couple, there are strategies. What you're doing for one spouse is going to be different from what you do for the other spouse. So make sure you're planning and designing your plan. Next slide for me. Work towards your goal. So there's 3 things that help you get towards your goal. Time is your number one friend for planning for retirement. If you have children, if you have grandchildren, there are things you can do now to start helping them plan for retirement. Right? I was literally watching a video yesterday with somebody who said their child will have over $1 million at age 40 because of things they're doing for their child now to save for retirement. You can do those things now to help. But even where you're at, wherever you are, now is the time to start. And not only start, but also pay attention to what you're currently doing, because now is the time to improve on the plan, right? If again, you go to a personal trainer, what you ate yesterday is impacting today's workout, but you can't go back and change that. But you can make sure today you add a little more fruit to your plate than you did biscuits. I got biscuits and pancakes, so I'm speaking to the choir right now. But that's the idea, right? What can we do to improve today to make it a little better for tomorrow? Then your wallet, what can you put to work, right? I have clients come in, I have people come in and say, what percentage can you get me? It doesn't matter what percentage I can get you if you don't put anything in. 0 times 10%, it's still 0, right? So what can you put in? Because that is your number one tool, is being able to consistently give towards your retirement. And honestly, research shows 70% of how well people do in investing has nothing to do with what they pick, is their investment behaviors. And so I have my master's is actually in therapy, and I find that my therapy degree is more helpful to my career as a financial advisor, because I am managing people's emotions and making sure they stay invested in the market, make sure they continue to give, make sure they prioritize themselves over others, make sure they put on their oxygen mask before they give everybody in their family money and then have to take from their retirement plan, right? So those are the things you can do. And then the percentage of the investments that you're in makes a difference. Next for me.
I plan to leave my kids with credit card bills.
Your credit card. Listen, and I ask people that when we plan for retirement, you want to know, and you can skip on to the next 3. We talked about these. And I know my time, I'm at the 7:50, or we're gonna have 5 more minutes. Okay. I was saying, and you talk about that with your retirement plan. Are you planning for you? And like, hey, as long as I can take care of myself, my kids will be fine, that they don't have to take care of me? Or are you planning a legacy piece that you want to be able to pass on to the next generation? Is that important for you? So this slide just shows the value of time, the cost of waiting. So this is someone who, if they put $450 a month into an account that's getting 6% return over time, at age 65, where will their portfolio be? So this doesn't include taxes and all that stuff. But if you just said this 30-year-old started putting $450 a month away at age 65, they have 640,000, versus the 40-year-old who's putting $450 away has 300,000. So I like to say that saving for retirement is the ultimate marshmallow test. Does anyone know what the marshmallow test is? So there was a study they've done it so many different ways, and it always works, where you testing people's ability to wait for more reward in the future. So they will put a marshmallow in front of a child or even an adult and say, okay, if you don't eat this marshmallow for 30 minutes, you'll get 2 marshmallows in 30 minutes instead. Do you know how many people eat that 1 marshmallow? They don't want to wait for the 2, even though if you really wanted that 1, you want the 2, but you don't want to wait. They do it with stale donuts. They put a room full of adults and say, these donuts are stale. We're going to have fresh donuts in an hour. And they eat the stale donuts. That's what we do in retirement. We're like, we'll wait. Wait until retirement. That sounds so far. I want to have fun and use my money now and live now. It's worth it to just wait so you can double your marshmallow. Next slide for me, please. I want to make sure I get to some things. Go ahead, keep going for me. This is just another way to look at the benefits of waiting. This is talking about waiting for Social Security and withdrawing from your portfolio based on taking the Social Security at 62 versus 70. Like I said, it's not one fixed answer. But when it comes to Social Security, make sure you know your options. Don't just assume. I literally had a client walk in my office and say, Tanisha, I started taking my Social Security. So she's like, I quit my job and I started taking Social Security. I'm like, whoa, what do you mean? What did you do? So we got to sit down because even if you started, you have a time period where you can give them back their money and change it. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was like, they gave her a lump sum to backdate. I said, the government is never trying to do more for you than you're trying to do for yourself. Why do you think they gave you a lump sum? Because it's cheaper for them. So just make sure you're knowing your options. Age 67, roughly, depending on your age right now, it's between 65 and 67 is when you can start taking Social Security and it not be considered early. Just know on average for every year you delay Social Security, it's about 8% that you're growing your payout, which really can make a huge difference. Next slide, please. But that's why you gotta know, what does your health situation look like? That makes a big difference. And it also, and that's why it matters also to be married and your spousal benefits and things like that to take into consideration, because if you're married and a spouse passes away, you get to take their full Social Security depending on whose is higher and things like that. So there's ways. All right, next slide for me. Next slide. I think I've kind of explained what we need to do with that. Keep going. Catch-up contributions. Y'all brought that up. Keep going. Thank you. It's just another way to show you. It's not there. Different levels of investments you can do. I like to talk to people about risk because sometimes people swing the pendulum when it comes to risk and think if you're investing, that means you're taking a lot of risk with your money. That means you're gambling with your money. Or people think on the other side that I have to take high risk to make some major returns. Your risk returns doesn't have to be massive to see big improvements. So this is a 3% return versus a 7% return. If you go to the next slide for me, we talk about portfolio allocation. And so one of the things that happens sometimes in a 401k plan or investments that are not being watched is that you pick an investment and you keep it there and now you're retiring, you need the money in the year and the market decides to do what it did last year and drop 20% on you. Right? The people who feel it and are like, I don't know what I'm doing now because of this, this just destroyed my plan, is because you did not have a well-designed plan. Your portfolio should be higher risk when you're younger, lower risk as you get closer to using the funds in any of your investment strategies. So I have clients who they have one risk tolerance. I ask, how risky are you? How comfortable are you with risk? But they have different portfolios depending on the goal. Your retirement portfolio, if we have 20 years for retirement, I can take more risk. We can put more equities in there. We can when I say more risk, at our company, we believe in high quality, long-term, well-diversified. So risk for us is not crypto. That's not a level of risk we deal with. High risk for us are blue chip, large growth companies that you buy every day, like Pepsi, Amazon, Coca-Cola. Those are our high risk investments, right? Because they still have a track record for you. Go to the next slide for me. But that balance comes down for shorter term goals. So if that same client wants to buy a house in 4 years, we're going to take a lot less risk than we do with their retirement money. All right. And I think, yep, I'm at time. I see my time there. But yeah, the main idea is design out your retirement. What we didn't get to talk about is like taxes and planning for the unexpected. But my goal is for you to walk away dreaming about what your dream retirement looks like, whether that's traveling the world or sitting on your big comfy couch. And do you know what those numbers are? And take the time to plan it. If you need help, I'm here to help you with it. But there are a lot of great tools online that you can use as well. And I'm here to help you with it at no cost. So wanted to let you know that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was so awesome. I learned a lot.
And I have some resources if anyone wants to pick up anything on the way out.
Great. Did you bring business cards? as
Yes,
well?
I did.
All right, wonderful. So we just want to thank you. This is a card from our club that just says, thank you for speaking. Also, an appreciation for your time and program today with our club. We're going to be donating $10 in your name to Rotary's Polio Plus Fund. And together with the 2-to-1 matching funds from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, your $10 is going to turn into $30, and it will provide a polio vaccine for up to about 50 children.
Beautiful.
Yes. All right. All right. Look at that. Wonderful. So thank you so much. And we probably have to have you come back next year or something. Yeah.
Camera, that was definitely informative.
Absolutely.
And impressively depressing.
Depressing.
Depressing. Talking about it right after the ate and all of that.
Now you got in, yes.
I learned I want to be Steve Lawton when I retire. That's what I learned today. So our next meeting, next Tuesday, Billy Claude Winston will be here. He's the EMS program manager for Texas Health. He's going to be talking to us a lot about what's going on with our healthcare and all of the opportunities that we have. It's amazing when you hear him talk about what's going on in Plano with our hospitals. So he'll be here next week. And the 4-way test, if we can all stand up. The 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And fifth, is it fun? Rotary, you are dismissed.
Thank you, Kelly.